Personal branding is the art of establishing yourself as a thought leader in a way that provides value and builds trust with your audience. The principles are the same as with branding and marketing a business. You're still influencing your audience and persuading them to select your product over a competitor, but personal branding is more relatable and genuine because the messages are coming from a person, not a corporation. So what sets personal branding apart is that human touch. It's about crafting an authentic narrative that connects on a personal level rather than through a corporate facade. There are many great examples of people who have created personal brands that are successful because they have three main characteristics. They're trustworthy, authentic, and credible. So to share some examples with you, first is Grant Cardone. He's the guy who built his personal brand on the idea that you can 10x your business, you can 10x your success, and 10x your enjoyment of life using his business techniques. And he's transparently shown his audience how he did this for himself, so you believe you can too. Another example is Brené Brown. She's a leading academic, researcher, presenter, and expert on the power of vulnerability, and she built her personal brand around this by telling her own story and encouraging other people to do the same. And the last example is how I've built my personal brand by traveling to conferences, speaking at events, and creating a lot of content around how entrepreneurs can build their own personal brands. So I'm excited to share with you how you can build your personal brand and grow your business. Let's get started. Let's start with the question that's probably on your mind. How do I create a personal brand? Well, your personal brand is a combination of your expertise, your experience, your education, and a little bit of your personality. So the first step is to do some internal searching and establish your why. What inspired you to start your business in the first place? Then ask yourself these questions. What words would you use to describe yourself and your personality? If your brand were a drink, which one would it be and why? What impression do you want to make when people see you and interact with your brand? And write down 2 to 3 things that you're passionate about outside of work. How could these passions connect to your message as a thought leader? As you start to see similarities and unique aspects in your answers, I'm sure you can pull out 2 to 3 interesting topics or themes that you can now speak to as a thought leader. Here's one example. One of my clients owns a painting company. It's not really the sexiest industry, but we found out some interesting aspects of his life and what he cares about and his personality, and we used this to make his personal brand stand out. What we learned is that he's super close to his children and very proud to be a dad. We also learned that the majority of his target customers are millennials who still rely on their parents for some DIY home projects, so we decided to coin him the Paint Dad. And now, we use this as a fun way to create authentic content where he can be goofy, he can make millennials laugh on social media, and add approachability to his business. So your next question may be, what is a thought leader and how do I become one? To become a thought leader, you must be an expert in your field. So the next step in building your personal brand and your business is to consider your background, your training, your education, and your professional career. So think about what areas you have the most expertise. This will help you select thought leadership topics or themes for your personal brand content. So ask yourself these questions. What topics can you speak to in a way that's trustworthy, authentic, and credible? What key advantages do you have over your competition that you can capitalize on and differentiate yourself? Where do you see gaps in your industry? How can you stand out? Once you've selected these topics, you can find ways to educate and add value to your audience through thought leadership content. So now you know how to be a thought leader, but what do you do with that? PR is a great opportunity to publish content on these educational topics in a way that reaches an even wider audience. Once you become an established thought leader through these PR and media articles, now doors will open to new opportunities like collaborations, speaking engagements, consulting offers, and even partnerships. For example, back to the Paint Dad. When we're not developing fun, goofy content around the idea that you can trust him, we're building credibility through the media and showing him as an expert. This last year, he was featured in many articles, such as the top paint trends for 2024, or the best types of paint sprayers to use for certain projects, and how to successfully run a franchise business. So people now look to him for his expertise. That leads to your next question. So how do I use PR to establish credibility? So what is PR? PR stands for public relations. It's a strategy that companies have been using for many years to communicate with the public and build their brand perception. While this is a great strategy for businesses to grow, it's an even better strategy for you to use to establish and build your reputation as an expert so your target clients come to you instead of you having to sell to them. Sounds ideal, right? So to give you some examples of PR strategies for entrepreneurs, think about getting published as a thought leader in journals and magazines, being interviewed on podcasts, even invited on stage at events, even your own social media platform. This is all PR. The paint ad as an example may help you see your own personal brand in the limelight. Because believe it or not, but journalists and editors are seeking experts like you to help them write factual content for their media outlets. They just need to know that you are credible, which is why establishing a personal brand online where you can be discovered is an important step to getting yourself featured in the press. So why does all this even matter? Entrepreneurs who invest in thought leadership and their personal branding will experience many rewards. It extends beyond personal satisfaction. You will notice an increase in your social media followers, and these are the right followers for your brand. You'll experience increased trust in your knowledge in your industry. You'll notice a direct impact on your bottom line. So how does this happen? Well, your thought leadership content will act as a portfolio of your expertise, and it will make it more likely for prospects to choose your product or service over your competitors. At Rosarium, we would love to help you get started on your personal branding journey. Subscribe for more video content or find us at rosarium.work on all social platforms as well as the web. We can't wait to grow with you.